Guys, I want to make a very emphatic point here. Many of us come from different martial traditions. I have a profound, long lineage in many different styles. And I always say, jokingly, there are two things I hate in the martial arts: discrimination against other styles and Taekwondo. It's my joke. I have nothing against Taekwondo or Aikido for that matter, or any other style, but sometimes we need to shake ourselves awake. And there are styles that I've done which I adore, for example, Jiu-Jitsu, that have a lot of great elements, and I still teach them, I still practice, but we have to have a critical eye. If we're unable to critically look at what we're doing, there's a problem. Mark Twain famously said, never let school interfere with your education. I always say, never let your systema interfere with your systema, right? I learned systema despite training in systema, because systema is perhaps more prone than any other style I've ever seen, with delusion and misunderstanding and misapplication. And this is totally normal, and we need to be objective. If our goal is to be custodians of cultural lineages, God bless, go forward, do what you want. If your goal is to be a photocopy of what your teacher does, that's something different. But if your goal is self-defense, success, survivability, and cultivating and customizing your own system, then take nothing for granted, test everything, and sometimes shock yourself, shake yourselves, look at things differently. As we proceed now with the traps and deflections, you're going to notice that I will teach the very traditional Slavic classifications, but immediately after that I'm going to give you a lot of latitude to test to see what comes out. What comes out as an animal? What comes out as an idealist from your respective stylistic backgrounds? What comes out in reality? Those three things are often very different. And where those three circles overlap, that little common space in between, that's what's going to keep you alive. All right. Okay, guys, come on in. Alors, now we want to give a third type of reflex in isolation. On va faire une isolation sur un troisième réflexe, snatch reflex. C'est le réflexe de saisir avec les doigts. No matter how much you train, right? Même si vous êtes un maître, there's always a time you're going to snatch. It's the most basic primal flinch response we have. À niveau de défense primaire, si tu tombes, right, you fall, you're going to reach. It's universal, it will come out. Avec l'entraînement, with training, on peut grandir l'espace entre compréhension, connaissance, entraînement, puis le réflexe. We have our cognitive trained base, and we have our reflex, and the more we train, the further off we can push that reflex. Mais il n'y a pas une façon on peut entraîner pour éliminer le réflexe. You cannot eliminate the reflex. It'll always be there, puis c'est une bonne chose, right? Most of the time it's a good thing, because if I turn around, and you go into me, I'm happy my muscles got tight. I'm happy, I move my reflex. Imagine si on doit garder le réflexe de fermer les yeux purement à un niveau cognitif. If you had to go through one day of life keeping eye blinking to a cognitive level, trying to respond to light, dust, right, toutes les choses qui peuvent attaquer les yeux, you'd be blind in a day. Okay? Reflex is good. Mais il y a des temps où on jette. Sometimes we freeze. So, I personally believe grasping is good when it serves you. Right? C'est bon des fois. Mais la majorité du temps, c'est pas mon premier objectif. Right? It's not, if you were coming in super fast, I would not want to go and try to catch it. What do you think happens when you try to catch? You get cut. You can grab the knife, you often get the fingers hit, puis souvent tu vas blesser tes doigts. But you may hurt your fingers very easily. If I'm going to train it, we want to give it still a fair opportunity, right? Parce que si tu veux prendre ta gorge, par exemple, you're trying to grab your throat, I would like that to be as good as possible. Est-ce qu'on veut prendre avec les bouts? Do I want to try to grab something with the fingertips first and have a little space here? Or do I want to hit with the web first and then close second? Contact, right? I have contact. Imagine si tu jouais comme ça. Like just with this little bottle. I try to catch. It's very hard. But if I kind of hit it, and then after the hit, I close it. Right? You're deflection. Look laterally, the fingertips, it's tough. You do it a little bit, you'll see it fails. But if I kind of swat it, comme un chat, right? You see a cat with a mouse. Cat with a mouse doesn't go claws first, it kind of goes paw to claw. That's what I want to do. So if I'm going to grab it, I don't want to start doing this. I don't want my hand to be, I kind of want to slap. Il y a plus de temps. Right? In the Chinese martial arts, they talk about sort of the lopsa, the grasping hand. It's always from contact. If I have a choice between that and this, that would be better. Alors, ça veut dire que, en réalité, si on commence déjà avec contact, if I already have a blending, it's probably going to be easier to catch. But if he's going like this, it's very hard to do it all with one hand in reality. And the other hand usually ramps, and we catch like this. What I'd like to do for this drill is see, can I only use the catch? There are times Ça peut arriver des fois, I might hit preemptively. Mais si c'est vite, right, go like that, right away, I got a half finger kind of crush. But we're going to isolate it. Pour cette étape, on va voir si on peut juste faire des interceptions. I'd like to catch, just like that, any way that I can. While he's, je vais aller lentement. I'm just going to go like this. See what Nazim is doing well? Moving the body, right, first. Est-ce que c'est possible d'arrêter? Oui, you can stop the knife, it's possible. Mais juste dans 10 fois, frappe un 10 hits, you got a little wiggle in the wrist, fingers not so good, right? Est-ce que ça donne quelque chose contre la rétraction? Is it very good against the retraction? If Ian or Ralph or Claudia or Stefan were up against Nazim and he was going like a jackhammer, do you think they could stop the retraction with their half-second catch? Probably not. Probablement, c'est pas bon contre la rétraction. But if the person was to go, wow, like this, maybe it could work. Mais on va voir. We're going to see. So objectively, about that speed, we don't want to go too fast. We want to let you learn it and see if you're able to only catch. Si vous n'êtes pas du tout capable de faire l'isolation, if you're not able to and you're trying and you still find deflections coming out and other stuff, happens. But do your best. Try to honestly explore it and feel it, right, to make it better. Let's go. So you could, dans ton temps, tu peux faire une isolation pure ici. You could do a nice, beautiful, flowing. We do like a classic system. Just keep, whoa, that looks beautiful. Whoa, whoa. Amazing. You could, if that's what you want to play. Or I could say I'm going to do more like a Cali style and check. I'm always looking for packing. I could. And then I could say, nope, bam, I want to latch and I want to grab. À cet point-là, on a déjà une compréhension de notre préférence. You should already know what you like a little bit. If you don't, c'est pas clair, faire un, try to blend. As soon as you don't like it and you break out, whatever you break out to, that's your preference. That's how you know. Yeah? 3 minutes, personne? Just, oh! Now, there's no right or wrong answer. Il n'y a aucune bonne ou mauvaise réponse, right? Some people, for example, they love, when I did Cali, they love having a high frame. That's sort of Paquita Tercia style check, and they're very good. Le concept là, the idea there is that I want to keep my elbows as low as I can. Puis si jamais ça va rentrer, c'est plus déplacement. I'm trying to move so it doesn't go in the body. And then the idea is that if that's not fast enough or suddenly he goes low, that I can switch, or I can switch the single. Dans mon expérience, des changements vite puis soudains avec un bras, c'est dur. I find it very hard to say, is he coming high? So it's going to lower that. I find it hard to do with one hand. So normally, what I do is I keep both hands up. And then if I see it's coming low, I will usually switch and blend over. Le concept ici, on appelle ça un cadre mélangé. It's a system that's called a blended frame, because it's a low frame and a high frame at the same time. C'est pas nécessaire qu'on touche avec les deux. I don't need to touch with both. In Cali, they use the same movement. Dans mon premier style de jiu-jitsu, my first style of a Kai-Ryu jiu-jitsu, we just called it an X-block, right? But a lot of people teach an X-block like this, right? And then they make fun of it, like it's never going to work. X-blocks, some variation of an X-block exists in almost every style I've seen. If it's more of a downward strike, it's kind of, souvent tu vas voir ça. You see a lot of people teaching this demo, and then the hand stays up, and you have, again, 1642, posing for the artist, yeah? In application, there's always a dominant hand and a guiding hand, and so it's the same thing here. There's a dominant and a guiding. Si c'est bas, if it comes to stab, it's a dominant and a guiding. Mais c'est dépendant, this ability to have any function with this is dependent on my twisted lead. If I stay like this, 1, I get hit. 2, I can barely reach. So as soon as I twist, that comes further back. And then if this punches out with a bit of activity, engage les doigts, now it's not getting all the way in or even touching. And then this now is, boom, a floor. And the head is close and I drive and do whatever. My preferences, mine, are when it comes in, boom, into a sliding trap, into a 2-on-1 with a head spear. That's my preference. If it suddenly comes higher, and I don't have the time to switch here, and I see it's coming high and I go, wah, I'll usually go under. Alors je vais garder cette cadre mou, it's a softer frame. to go under, or if not, this one is always on a hinge so it can come up. Même ici, si je vais en trapper double haut, if I do trap double high, some people like the wrap in here. I've had bad real life experiences with fast retraction. Non, pas vraiment. Like in simulation, everyone does this. I've been in situations where people are punching bare knuckle or little stabs, and it doesn't do much. It doesn't get through clothing. If it's sharp, it may not really do much, and I don't have a lot of fat, and I was never traumatized. But I was traumatized by him putting his arm on my face, pulling that out, cutting my arm, and oh God! And then that happening, and that happens a lot. Puis dans mon premier style, first style I ever did, when I was bouncing, all of those deflections worked, but there was a huge concentration on this style of trapping. This did not work for me, so I don't like it. Because in real life, it failed me many times, and I got rid of it. Some people love it. For that reason, I prefer either this trap into a pass, or this trap into an underhook and pike. I like the underhook and pike so much because it lets me go under easier, it lets me work the head easier, and there's a lot of takedowns. So even if it's high and I double high, I'll normally half beat into an under. Boom, and I come under here. I would rather have that energy and be behind it. That's me. So my preference is I'm looking for this or this into an underhook and pike. It's up to you. So you can play slowly with that twisted frame to see what that feels like. This comes out a lot. You can play even low with checking and then driving into an underhook and pike. Or you can play, let's say for example, you really love this, right? If you love this, my only advice, these can work, but you better be compressing, hammering and driving, and your backup when this fails is usually going to be an armpit lock, a wakigatami, which in real life is rarely going to look like this. Normally somewhere about here, you go, and he goes, and he goes to the ground, and it pops out and it looks horrible, and he screams. That's what I always call this the finish line, because normally if you run through that like a finish line, boop, it just goes down, and then that arm loses function. It's not magical. They don't stop using it. You get that happening, the hand gets easier to control, you get rid of that, you start fighting, blah, 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 you keep going. That's real life. That's real life. But you might know, you might have something else. You might say, for example, that no matter what, you believe in this. Other people, no matter what, they believe in this, driving into the net. Whatever it is you like, have your A plan, and at least have a B plan. Si ça marche pas, qu'est-ce que tu vas faire après? Cette période maintenant, c'est pour entraîner succès. It's to train your ideal success. Even if I'm going to go slow, even if I believe thrust kick is my primary go-to, I want to work always with displacement and footwork and see how I can put that in. As you can see, thrust kick is not my primary go-to. Does that make sense? All right, change quelquefois, a few times.